Channel switched.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think selling him 20 weeds is going to get him fired. So, you know. Oh, it sounds like a setup, man. I mean, something sounds real fishy. I mean, you hearing this too, Steve? I don't know. It just sounds real fishy. No offense, Tanner. I mean, it sounds like two guys who want to get another guy out, and they're trying to do it somewhere. But yeah, he was asking. He's asking. I mean, he was asking. I guess that's true. To be frank with you, the guy who just expunged my record, who said I'm very harsh on the law, don't do anything illegal again, coming up to me asking me for an illegal amount of weed, it's pretty fucking weird, man. I hate to be frank about it, but it's pretty fucking weird. I did not expect that. So. Well, here's the other thing. He's never been in my shop. Okay, he's never been in my shop asking me for weed. Now, if this guy was coming in all the time asking me for 5 weed for the past 2 months, maybe I could understand why he'd ask me for 20 weed. But now all of a sudden, you two are standing there and you're asking me for 20 weed. Something's up. It's too weird. It's just too strange because he's never been there before. He's never been there. He's never been there before, ever. That I've, and certainly never asked me for a larger amount than what I can sell. So it just felt very strange, just to be frank with you. So that being said, I mean, obviously, I'm going to do what I'm paid to do for my work, which is sell 5 weed to everybody, whoever wants it, plus a discount now that we have a special going on for masks. People can wear masks. Or he's trying to see. Well, I know for sure. I'm sure he wanted to see if I could sell him more, or if I would be willing.
User left your channel.
It's more that than probably you. But yeah, I guess you're telling the police too. I don't do that though, and I would like clarification as to what clarifies 5, because there's no way for me to know when they walk out that door if they've smoked those 5, they put those 5 in their car or whatever. All I know is I can sell them 5 at a time, period. In this case, he wanted 5 more after walking out the door, and I saw no smoke, so I decided not to sell him anymore. But the reality is, I have no way to know. You know what I mean? What people do with it after it's out there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I know
User left your channel.
I know that. And so, these guys who come in, they're like, I want to buy bulk for this, for the Taskmaster and this. I'm like, no, you can't do that. It doesn't work, and it's, we don't do that. This is fully legal recreational marijuana. We grow this for, public recreational use. This is not for business. This is not business. So, for you. It's a business for us, Anyway, I'm very transparent, about what we do and how we do it. So, I'm allowed to grow it, I'm allowed to transport it, and I'm allowed to sell 5 at a time to individuals, and that's what I do. That's my job. This situation is very odd because, like I said, it's not so much that he, like I said, if he had come up to me and asked me for months for 5, or whatever, he'd been doing this for a while, he just did it this one time out of the blue. So that's even more odd for me. So, but
User left your channel.
busting me? Well, yeah, of course the DA wants him out too. So. Mm-hmm. Charges against me? Oh. Sorry, I misheard that. Why don't you guys use an undercover police officer? I mean, why does it gotta be me in our shop? I mean, well, yeah, but I told you. I mean, me and this guy, like, he expunged my record, man. I mean, this guy's, I've been doing good. I've been trying to dude, I don't even drive fast anymore. I'm fucking falling asleep behind the steering wheel.
User joined your channel.
There you go. Why don't you set him up with somebody with an if this? I'll be honest with you. This seems more like something of undercover cop would do, and I'm not a police officer. And I'll tell you something else. If the public found out that I was entrapping a judge or something, I mean, I'm not a, no offense, but I'm not a rat. I mean, I'm not gonna look. I know guys on the green side. I know guys on the dark side. Okay, I mean, it's like, uh, fuck, what am I gonna do? There's nothing I can do about that. But at the end of the day, I have a reputation to uphold. That whether it's a judge coming into my store or it's the leader of a gang or whatever, it doesn't matter to me. They're all customers, and whatever they tell me is stays with me. I have to do that because I want to keep my customers. Period. So, Mr. Martinez here, I mean, I've told you about what he said to me, but that being said, as far as entrapping him and setting him up to do this and get him out of the judge court, why am I going to take a guy who went ahead and just expunged my record, gave me something that I, was very grateful that I've worked for? Why would I go ahead and just fuck him like that? No offense. I mean, I hate to be blunt, but for real though, I mean, if you want this done, I suggest you work with the police department and try and figure out if there's an issue there. Is internal affairs. I mean, my shop, yes, it's our shop, excuse me, I don't own it. I hope to one day, but that being said, but yeah, it's just because we're, marijuana distribution and you're trying to, I mean, he could easily, go to some undercover police officer and be said, here, here's a magnum full of weed, and you get him on a huge amount if he's a weed addict or something. I don't know. No, well, just to be frank, I mean, I'm a public figure. Okay, I know a lot of people. I stand out in the street. They know this backpack. They know this suit. It's very out in the open who I am and what I do, and I have no, qualms about it because it's fully legal and what I do. That being said, one person goes wrong seeing me as somebody who's a, insider for this or doing somebody for that or giving someone else a favor or doing this. It's not gonna help my business and my reputation about who I am and what I do, which is being a neutral white. This is, you see the white and the black. This is gray. This is neutral party in society. I know the dark side. I know the good side. I know everybody in this town basically. And if I don't know them, I get to know them when they come onto the island, and I give them food. I give them a
User
car.
left your
I
channel.
show them how to farm. I try and introduce myself in a polite, constructive way to be a constructive member of society. And these type of situations, as much as I know you want to clarify the issue, I think it should be better handled by a. There you go. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Ooh, goggles. Diving goggles. I'll take them. Thank you. All right, Steve. Sorry to rant there, Steve. Take care, man. Yep. Anyway, that's like I said, the situation seemed very odd, and as much as I wish to help clarify your situation, I don't feel I'm the correct person for the party. Because again, I really do look at myself as a neutral member of society, and like I said, the white suit, very outstanding member of community, and I'm trying to be productive and constructive and not speeding. I don't speed. Usually, I have other people drive for me, so I'm not speeding at times. And the other thing is that I'd like to show new guys around the island. Like, I enjoy that. I enjoy helping new people out because then when they come in the shop later, they're like, oh shit, dude, I got money now. I can buy something from you or whatever and hang out and, all this. So, I don't know. This situation, like I said, seems like something that's more geared towards an undercover internal affairs to sting operation that you guys are going to need to work on. As much as you'd like to use the shop and utilize me to be a front for this, um, I get why that would be helpful, but if this guy's really addicted to weed and you can maybe get him a better price with a larger volume amount through someone else that's an underground seller, perhaps an undercover officer, then that would probably be your better route than trying to use a member, like I said, as somebody who's trying to be very out in society like myself. I can't jump to one side or the other. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, no, yeah, I'm okay with talking with them. I mean, obviously, it's what I do, so why wouldn't I want to know what I don't want to make mistakes. I don't want to slip up, and I don't want to. be caught in a situation like that where a judge comes up to me and says, I want to buy 20, and I have to tell him, okay, well, five now, five, come back in 5 minutes. I don't know what it is, and there's no way for me to know. So, at the end of the day, and I'll be frank with you, I don't think having more than five will ever harm anybody, and that's my personal opinion. I think people should be able to carry up to an ounce, up to 100. But, that's neither here nor there. I mean, I feel it's the least harmful and addictive drug of any of the narcotics on the island, and, I stand by that. So. And it's interesting because I've talked to officers both on the island and off the island, guys who work on the beat off the island, real deal, okay? And they've said, okay, I say to them, okay, if you run into a couple that's having a domestic dispute and they're on alcohol versus a couple that's on that's doing weed, I mean, what is the problems you see out there? And weed is not the problem, okay? This is not the problem. People get hungry, they sit around, they get hungry, and then they fall asleep. Alcohol, they get angry, they get violent, they get fucking, I mean, it's completely hypocritical. And I'm not gonna go on a tirade about this, but I have no harm in standing up what I believe should be the rule. And it's changing slowly. Fortunately, on the island, it's slightly legal, not as legal as alcohol is, but that's neither here nor there. At least it's up for the running. I had well, you can, I don't, I had an incident when I was very first on the island. Hold on, let me send a quick text here. It's my buddy Odie.
User left your channel.
It was a very stupid mistake. You can see it on the government website in my expungement request. It was a, stealing of a car, and there was something in the car already when I stole it, so I got put in possession. And like I said, it was a dumb mistake that I did when I was very, very new. I was still driving my car. I've learned a lot since then, and all the other infractions beyond that were either driving off road or light speeding traffic violations, misdemeanors. So he expunged my record completely. I have no infractions, and I have two warnings on there right now. But now I drive around like a freaking grandmother, and I drive these slow cars and shit. Like I don't even I don't take risk anymore. Do you want to hear something funny? I got stopped by a police officer for driving too slow. How do you like that? I was going on Oceanside in my lumber truck, doing like 50 or 60, and it was a 130 limit, so I was less than half the speed. And he says, actually, driving that slow is a traffic hazard because other guys are going to be going faster on this highway. I was like, wow, okay. Well, I can't win. I can't seem to win. So yeah, that's way too slow. So, yeah, I mean that's what happened with the expungement. And again, you can see the full record and that whole thing breakdown right on the government website if you want to see the request, along with the full transparency of that. But yeah, I mean this is definitely a very strange situation. I'm not gonna lie. I was very surprised.
User joined your channel.
That's interesting. Well,
User
that's
joined your
interesting
channel.
because you say it's been a while, but this is the first time I've ever seen him in the shop. I'll be frank. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, I probably shouldn't know more than that. So, like I said, it's probably best. Here's my buddy here. I'm gonna meet up with him, but it's probably best handled with an internal investigation and also undercover, and however you choose to handle it going forward. But I'll be happy to speak with the DA, see what his thoughts are on my involvement or whatever questions he has, clarification from the shop, that's fine. In fact, okay, well that's fine. Odysseus is an off-duty police officer, so it's not a problem there. Hey, Odie. Let me see here. What is it, a little fanny pack there? Is that what you got there? Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
User left
I
your
wouldn't mind
channel.
getting a belt that I could put my gun on. Does that have a place for your gun? Nice. That could be kind of cool. But it replaces your backpack though. You can't wear a backpack. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 It's a little fanny pack there, literally. Speaking of skulls, I got 5 of them. Yeah. Hey. Guess you just best show them your ID. Especially because it's spelled that way. Good friend. They're the finest marijuana in town right here at Roland Doobie Smoke Shop. No, just kidding. Go ahead. It was a very awkward situation. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Brandon. I mean, I can break down exactly what happened. This is the first time I've seen this guy in the shop.
User left your channel.
he was trying to use his position also to justify buying it, saying, I'm the justice. It's just our secret. I'm the one who interprets the law. Blah blah blah.
If you reasonably believe that they're still holding on to marijuana and you sell them that, and so you sell me five, I run to my car and run right back, and just in that amount of time you don't see where I go or what I do, but I run to my car and I come right back. 30 seconds tops. Unless I was completely blazed out of my mind, a reasonable person would think that you can't smoke five joints in 30 seconds. You know what I mean? I have two, but right. But you're not going to be, can't be liable for that. You know what I mean? You can't be liable for somebody else's deception. If you sell more than 5 units at a time, you can't you will be liable. So six or more, you're liable. But if somebody goes, for you, somebody comes in and buys five, they go out. Once they leave your store, that marijuana or anything to do with them is no longer your problem. It's no longer in your possession. You don't have to worry about coming under scrutiny for the crimes of other people. As long as you're doing things according to the law, you won't be punished for it, nor can you be punished. Um, yeah, I mean, in a sense, yes. I mean, you can't control what they do with that marijuana after they do it. You can't control the customer's consumption rate. You can't control what they do with it. So, again, like I said, a reasonable person standard applies. Yeah, would a reasonable person think that you're selling this guy more than five units when you tell him, hey, just go outside, stand there, turn around, and come back, and I'll sell you five more? A reasonable person in a court of law would say, yeah, he would know that he's done sold more. But on the other side, if the guy walks away from you and you got, let's say your store's packed and you're just selling stuff right and left, and a bunch of people in there, and you lose track of the guy, for 5 seconds. You don't know where he's at. He walks outside, he dumps it in the car, he comes back. You can't be liable for somebody else's, you know, dumbassery. You know what I mean? Right. And the shop can't. I've known Judge Harrington for a long time. And maybe we'll get another judge in someday that may think differently. But as far as I'm concerned, as a district attorney, criminally, nothing. There's nothing you did. As long as you're not taking 30 units and dumping it at a time off of one guy, you sell five, he walks outside, does whatever the hell he wants. You're not his babysitter, you're not his dad. You can't you know articulate what he did with that marijuana, nor is it your duty to follow everybody until they smoke all five
User
so you can
joined your
sell them more.
channel.
You know what I mean? That's an unreasonable thing. That's the only way you would be able to for sure know what happens to the 5 units that you sell, is just to follow every single person you sell to until they discard of all 5 units, and that's unreasonable. So I would not worry about that. Once they leave your store's no longer liable for what they do on the outside. Now, if I say as a district attorney and from the district attorney's office, as long as you're an employee of Roland Doobies and you're catering to a special event and that's the only purpose you're out there for, you know, as long as the police are tracking it, I'm fine. Oh, that's a given. I mean, that will never change anywhere you go. It's just the transportation of to and from. And again, at that special event, you're at your truck. There's 15 people in line, and they're all, "Hey man, let me get some weed. Let me get some weed. Let me get some weed." A reasonable person couldn't expect you to track that much. You know, each individual person and how they consume that marijuana. So as long as you're not giving out more than five at a time, prosecution is going to be slim to none, and civil liability is going to be non-existent. Yeah. Not up to you to know that. Um, now, right now, it is that the cops would have enough reasonable suspicion to stop them if they're standing out there protecting the event or doing whatever security and stuff like that. And they see the same guy run to the truck 3 times. That's the cop's job to go in and figure all that stuff out, not yours. You're just a businessman. You're not a cop. You just, sell your weed, do it by the law, the way it's written, and you will be fine. It'll be up to the police, and if the police don't do anything about it, there's really nothing you can do about it. If you know for a fact there's a guy holding on to like 100 grams because he's just turning around, running back and back and back. Yeah, I mean that's pretty exaggerated, but right. Right. And if somebody was doing that, I would question the legitimacy of what they're buying it for because I guarantee they're trying to street sell it under your market price. Um, yeah, that's up to the police to figure that stuff out. And from the DA's office, Mr. Crosa let the police department know that if there's marijuana being catered to an event, you guys are able to stop and check these people for 5 units of marijuana or more. And yeah, and the addiction rate's been going up quite a bit. Marijuana's hard to get addicted to, but there are probably some people out there that might have that. You know what I mean? It'll be up to the city council, I think. I mean, marijuana does not bother me at all. As long as it's done within the law, it doesn't bother me. I smoke a little J every once in a while, and I'm fine with it as long as we're all doing it within the law.
Might have a car pulling up. I don't know where it's heading.
I agree with it. I agree with it 100%. Marijuana is a depressant more than it is, alcohol. Like me, if I drink Jack and Coke, I'm gonna be over here punching the judge, and stuff. But if I smoke weed, I'm just like, what do I usually do when I'm in your shop? I smoke weed and I sit down at the table and just chill. So that's right. All right.
Yeah, I'm a frequent myself. Getting a couple every time I go.
Yeah, yeah, nothing wrong with it as long as we're legal.
Oh yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah, I want you guys to understand where I'm coming from. I know you know you think it was really odd how he walked in all of a sudden out of nowhere wanting an illegal amount. I don't understand why. I'm sure the DA and I will be trying to figure that out ourselves. I don't know if he was trying to catch you trying to sell an illegal amount, if he was trying to see if I would tell the police that he was trying to buy an illegal amount. It's very odd. Um,
Even if he was trying to catch you in some sort of sting operation, he would have need to have told somebody else. You know what I
right.
mean? Like, especially me, who's going to prosecute you if that would have, you know, he would have need to have cleared that through me, number one. And number two, it's not a judge's job to be out putting a sting operation on, or justice for that matter. Right, right. No, we appreciate your